Hello, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Jocelyn Nager, and I am the managing partner of Frank Frank Goldstein Nager. In this segment, we will focus on what it takes to vacate a New York default judgment. This information is relevant to judgment creditors and judgment debtors alike. This video is for informational purposes only and is not intended as legal advice. In order to vacate a default judgment in New York, you must prove to the court that you have excusable default and a meritorious defense. The court requires both and will not set aside or vacate the judgment if you can prove only one of the two. Let's talk about excusable default and what that means. Excusable default is the reason why you did not initially respond to the summons and complaint or original court pleadings. Perhaps the service was bad. You never received the documents, which was why you did not respond. The documents may have been served at an incorrect address, an address where you did not reside at that time. And because you did not receive them, you could not have answered the court papers. Or the papers were served on a person not authorized to receive the summons and complaint as specified in the New York laws. These are just two examples of reasons why you defaulted, failed to appear and/or answer the case, and defaulted. Documentation supporting your allegation of excusable default is persuasive. It bolsters your claim, further illustrating to the court that there is merit to your claim of excusable default. An example of documentation, also referred to as evidence, is a copy of a lease proving you lived at another address at the time the summons was served. The more you can bolster your position to prove to the court that there was excusable default, the more likely the court will believe your position. A meritorious defense is a defense to the action. That is a defense you could have used as a partial or full defense to the case had you appeared or answered the action. An example of a meritorious defense to a breach of contract case where you were sued for monies owed could be that the debt was paid in whole or in part, that credit for payment was not given, that is, the debt as stated is not owed. To further bolster your claim of a meritorious defense, supporting documentation comes into play here as well. Examples are copies of payments made that were not credited, which would be evidence that the amount sued for was incorrect, or a statement or other correspondence that demanded a balance, different from that demanded in the lawsuit, or that the creditor failed to satisfy a requirement in the contract before starting a lawsuit against you. They never sent the required notice of default as required. In addition to demonstrating both meritorious defense and excusable default, there are other considerations when seeking to set aside or vacate a judgment. Those include the timeliness of the request to the court and how the request is made and more. Look for our other videos on these and other topics. For more information about vacating a New York judgment or defending an application to vacate a judgment, please contact us by phone at 212-686-0100 or email us at info@ffgnesqs.com. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel.